Alright guys, today we got some big news that dropped for the PSVR 2. We got the price and we got the actual launch date of when it's coming out next year. We always knew it was next year, but we didn't know exactly when. We got some game announcements and stuff, and I got some thoughts on the price and the game announcements and stuff, so let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a recce is the gaming tech. Gaming tech is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
Alright guys, so today we finally got some news on the PlayStation VR 2 that we've all been waiting for, which is the price and when it's actually going to launch. So we always knew this whole entire time that the PSVR 2 was going to launch sometime next year, but we finally have a date of February 22nd of when it's finally coming out, so early in the year, so I'm really excited about that. Obviously, the PSVR 2 is something that I've been waiting for a while now, because it obviously has features that, you know, as somebody who uses the Quest and the PC, stuff that we haven't seen before, like this 4K HDR display that's going to make, obviously, the world's full of color and really vibrant, so I can't wait to see that. Of course, it has eye tracking, which is going to be used for foveated rendering, and even for different games to select things in a menu, which we haven't seen before. And the foveated render is going to make games look even better than they did, because it's going to focus your vision on where you're actually looking. Has 110 degrees field of view, which is about average to where most headsets are, but bigger than the Quest 2 that a lot of us are used to using. So that's obviously really solid. And then, of course, we have the finger detection, kind of like what the Valve Index stuff that we're used to and stuff. So really cool to have that on there. 3D audio, all that kind of stuff. But what's really exciting is the fact that you have the power of PlayStation 5 at your fingertips here. So you're not only going to have these games and stuff, you're going to have the haptic feedback in the headset that they've been talking about, the haptic feedback in the controllers and stuff that are really unique that I can't wait to try if the PlayStation 5 controller is anything to go by. But then it's also going to have, you know, things to look forward to as far as the graphics. Like, obviously, a lot of the times we get these Quest games that are only made on the Quest and they don't get ported to PC, and I think the PlayStation VR 2 is going to lend itself to a lot of these developers actually taking the time to port these games over, so we can actually get these higher fidelity games that we obviously don't see on the Quest 2, so that's really exciting as well. And then, of course, this is the box. This is the standard box you're going to get, and this costs $550, guys. So I know a lot of you guys are gawking at that price right now, and probably more expensive than you guys thought. And there's also going to be a Horizon bundle as well, which is going to, of course, come with Horizon Call of the Wild, which is going to be $599. But for me, you know, it's a little bit different here. As you guys are looking at Horizon Call of the Mountain here, for me, I think the price is very much justified. If I look at the Quest 2, and obviously with the increase and stuff, it being between $400 or $500, yes, you need a PlayStation 5, and obviously this is made for people who have a PlayStation 5. The same way I think about the fact that if I make a VR headset for PC, you don't go around saying, well, for this VR headset, you know, you need a PC. Well, of course, it's made for whoever has a PC already. For PlayStation VR 2, it's obviously made for PlayStation gamers, people who want to experience the exclusive that PlayStation has to offer. So for me, having a PlayStation is not a negative. You would have this as an add-on to your PlayStation ecosystem, just like I do. I would have a PlayStation regardless, because I like their games, I like their controls, and I like being in that ecosystem. So I don't look at this as being, you know, that crazy in price compared to what it has to offer here, because the HDR screens, the 2000 by 2000 in resolution, using OLED screen, the haptic feedback on the headset and on the controllers, the FOV, and all the uniqueness that this thing has, in my opinion, makes it worth the price, especially when comparing to the Quest 2. Sure, you're going to sit there and say the Quest 2 is still a little bit cheaper, but this is a much better headset in every way compared to the Quest 2. Yeah, the Quest 2 can obviously have everything entailed inside, and you don't need a PlayStation 5, but that's the price you're going to pay when you want a PC VR-like experience where you can get these higher fidelity games. And don't forget, this has eye tracking to make games look 30 to 40% better, like Sony has already talked about, and we got a hint of already on the Quest 2 or on the Quest Pro when that came out already, kind of getting an idea of what that may look like for future games. So for me, the price is kind of justified. I don't know about the rest of you guys and how you feel about it. And then we have all the exclusives that are coming to it, like Horizon you just saw. We have Firewall Ultra, Firewall being one of the best games that came out on the PlayStation original VR that I really loved, and it was obviously unique to it, and they have a sequel coming out to this. So I'm really excited to see what this game does and kind of brings to that space, because it was fantastic on PSVR, and I'm happy to see it coming to VR too. And yeah, I mean, that is what I think about the price, guys. I think it's well worth it if you're in the PlayStation ecosystem. This is definitely the PSVR headset you should buy, and I can't wait. There's a bunch of games that were announced today. There was about 11 games that were announced today. for the new PlayStation VR2. But of course, these are just new games that they announced today. There's been other games that have been announced in the past. They announced some things like After the Fall and other things that kind of already are being ported over from the Quest that have already existed before. But I'm more excited about the exclusive stuff like Firewall Ultra here, like Horizon Call of the Mountain, which is really excited. And then this new game here called Crossfire that they announced, which is a shooter that seems like really realistic, and you're going through all these missions trying to obviously tackle all the enemies, and the graphics in here look fantastic. I mean, guys, watching this trailer, you should very easily know why this is $550 compared to what a Quest 2 can offer. As somebody who's a huge fan on this channel for the portability of the Quest Pro and the Quest 2, and I love everything about it, I know for a fact that on the PlayStation VR 2, I'm going to get a whole new experience because of all the features it brings and the power of the PlayStation VR. And yeah, obviously I have a PC already, and I've experienced PC VR like Half-Life Alyx and stuff, but now I'm going to see the Sony exclusives, and now I'm going to see a lot of these developers take their time to actually make games look better because they have another system to target, because we've obviously seen so many times that they have not ported their games over to PC, and I think this is definitely going to lean to them actually doing it. So I'm really, really excited for that, to see that kind of come to fruition and stuff on the PlayStation VR 2. And this game here looks fantastic. I mean, obviously, I love shooters in general in VR. We don't know too much about this game, but we do know that it's going to have, obviously, you can see there's a lot of different shooting involved of what you're actually doing. And it looks fantastic. The graphics look great. The explosions look great in this game. I can't wait to see what this game has to offer, if it has any like local play or anything like that. But either way, this is one I'm definitely excited about. That's obviously exclusive to the VR2. And the next one that we got to talk about that had me really excited, and the last one we're going to talk about here today that they announced today as part of the 11 games that's also exclusive, is the Dark Pictures Switchback VR. So if you guys have not heard of this, this is coming from the developers of Rush of Blood. Rush of Blood is one of my favorite games, if not my favorite game on PlayStation VR 1 when it came out, because I love horror games, I love roller coasters, and this combined it in the best way possible, and it combined shooting at the same time, and it was a really easy game to just have people experience what the PlayStation VR 1 can do back then. And now they're bringing a sequel to PlayStation VR 2 with an original story and using the graphics power of the PlayStation 5, being in a roller coaster again, going through scenarios, getting scared for your life, having the haptic feedback on your headset and the controllers work, and having all that going that we didn't have before. Having the eye tracking being involved, where if you look in a certain direction and you blink, it's going to scare you because you're not supposed to blink. All of these different things that they're talking about in this game sound fantastic, and this is definitely going to be the first game that I play on my PSVR 2. Great and exciting times to see that they're making essentially a sequel to Rush of Blood, even though the name's not there, because it's from the same developers and the same kind of style. And I can't wait to see what this can do on the PSVR 2, guys. So definitely a lot of exciting news today with some of these announcements, and I'm okay with the price as far as what I've seen so far. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that video on the PSVR 2. Let me know down below in the comments if you guys are going to be getting a PSVR 2. I know, as a VR enthusiast, I'm really, really excited for the PSVR 2 because it's going to bring games that we're not getting on the Quest and that higher graphic fidelity that I'm really excited about. I love PC VR, but obviously we're not getting the caliber of PC VR games because a lot of the games are exclusive to the Quest and they're not being made. And I think the PSVR 2 has the potential of developers and stuff targeting the PSVR 2 as often as they do the Quest, which is not happening usually on PC VR. So we get to see these games like that are either exclusives or in higher fidelity than we've ever seen before, and the haptic feedback on the controllers and all that kind of stuff that I'm really, really excited to see. So if you guys have any questions about anything you guys have seen, as always, leave it down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Till next time.